Welcome back, everyone. I'm Derek Harper, and this is 5 Minute Majors. It has been a few weeks with Stephen Heisler taking over the videos with the World Junior Championship tournament going on. Congrats to the United States of America winning the tournament over the host Sweden. Huge deal there. But let's dive right into it. It has been an absolutely wild few days as we have seen a flurry of trades happen in the WHL. Wenatchee is the most notable. We've seen Kamloops make some deals with Calgary. We have seen Kamloops make deals with the other teams. Seattle and Wenatchee have made a couple of deals. But really what we want to focus on here is kind of a couple things. The Winterhawks haven't made any moves. So they may feel confident about their future. They're always a team that likes to kind of keep it simple, not make too many moves, keep the core group together. They'll make a move here or there. So it's clear that they feel very, very confident in their group this year and making a run for the title. But not to be challenged, or outdone rather, by the Everett Silvertips, who are also a key team to watch. They're always contending. Last handful of years, they've been a very competitive team. Them and the Winterhawks have had some insane battles behind like the likes of Carter Hart in net. She always played a pain for opposing teams. But the Winterhawks seem to be on a roll this year. A lot of good players there. But Wenatchee is the team we're going to talk about really today, as they have made a flurry of deals over the past few weeks. Wenatchee kind of realized, hey, we're not going to be a contender. We have hardly any draft picks next year. They could have gone all in with their roster, maybe made a run to the championship. They could have been a contender, or they maybe weren't going to be a contender. So they were in that weird limbo phase where we had a lot of really, really good players, and they could have maybe brought the town a championship in their first WHL season. But on the flip side, if they had done that, they would have had, I believe, just 5 draft picks over the next few years. So they needed to do something to load up and build their future up. So what happened was they traded away Connor Geekie to the Swift Current Broncos. They traded away Matt Savoy to Moose Jaw Warriors. The Eastern Conference is very interesting. If I had to make a prediction, I'd say the champion might come from the Western Conference. I think the Winterhawks have a very good chance of doing that. Silvertips could be a challenge for them, though. There's always a surprise that could happen, and we'll see what happens here. But the Eastern Conference is interesting. You have the Blades, who have loaded up. I would say, and a lot of others would probably say, that the Blades are the heavy Eastern Conference favorite. But you also have teams, like I said, like Swift Current and Moose Jaw, who appear to be trying to make some sort of run. It'd be interesting to see how far each of those two teams get. But Wenatchee should not be disappointed in this. The fans have seen what a contending team could be in the future, what it looks like on the ice, and what star players are in the WHL. And Bliss is a very great person. I know he's doing a great job out there, given the circumstances that Winnipeg sent them. And fans shouldn't be down in the dumps either, because they're still a very competitive team. They're still they're almost certainly going to make the playoffs. They may not make the championship now, but crazier things have happened. I wouldn't write them off. I would say, if I had to predict, they'll make the second round, but we'll see, because they still have players like Kenta, Isso guy, and he's kind of I would say he's more underrated player there, but kind of the one star to watch now with the Wild is actually defenseman Graham Sword, a Nashville Predators prospect who has been piling up the points for Wenatchee this season and will likely continue to do so as probably one of the main focal points now for that team. So fans should still go out and pack that barn each and every night. But what this also means for the future is that this division is going to be really competitive. Yeah, the Chiefs and Americans are kind of in a rebuild. We don't know what's going to happen there. Seattle's a very young team after making the championship last year and winning it. And actually beating the now Wenatchee Wild. And that's what happened was Winnipeg went all chips in, traded most of their picks gone, brought in all these big names, big stars, made a run to the championship, and then had to move. So it's what it is for that. But the WHL's U.S. division is going to be very, very exciting over the next handful of seasons because you're going to have players or teams like Wenatchee, Everett, the Winterhawks. So you're going to kind of have that Western, Central, Washington, Oregon area that could be good. The Chiefs and Americans, we're going to see what happens there. The Americans are kind of rebuilding. The Chiefs are interesting. They've gotten some big wins at times, but then they get beat other nights. So who knows what's going to end up there? It's going to be very interesting. But as for the Wild, fans should be very excited for the future. They are now very deep in draft picks. They acquired multiple players and 12 future draft picks. Bliss did an amazing job with the circumstances that Winnipeg gave him and capitalizing on that for the future, while also still giving the fans basically the first half of the season to see what a big elite team can be in the WHL. So props to Bliss and all the staff there. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do the rest of the season. They also made 2 small trades with the Seattle Thunderbirds. One for a draft pick and then another today, actually, on Wednesday. They made an exchange with Seattle for a forward. So they did a kind of a forward trade, sending one there and getting one back. So I think they're going to be a very fun team to watch. I cannot wait to see what they do. Silver Tips as well, and the Winterhawks I think will be good too. So I think this is a very exciting time in the WHL. The Eastern Conference is going to be very interesting. I think the Blades come out of it on that side, and the Western might get interesting. We'll see what happens in the next few years. Kamloops, I know they're slowly kind of rebuilding. They have like assets and stuff, and they have some good players. Vancouver Giants making some interesting moves. They acquired an NHL prospect today, so it's going to be very interesting. Now going into the rest of the season, the trade deadline has passed. It was Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So the rosters are all set now. And now it's time to sit back and see what happens.